We got some duck on duck. We got a duck game this weekend that everybody's super antsy and excited for.
We do. One more sleep.
But we've got duck on Sunday. You weren't here for our Lanning interview.
No, I was gone for that.
You missed it. And in it, I had brought up to Dan Lanning, I know everybody's going to talk about Ohio State with you, but I also know you're a coach and you don't want to dismiss the other whatever games they've played going into it.
Next opponent.
But what are your thoughts that you play Ohio State and the next day you get to wake up with Justin Herbert against Bo Nix? And he went, oh, man, I'm rooting for Bo. Even though we know he's probably rooting a little more for Bo because Bo's his guy.
Yeah, he coached Bo. He knows Herbert because he's around, and Herbert still comes back and does a lot of stuff with the university. He's definitely rooting for Bo. That's going to be weird this weekend. It's going to be really weird.
We got a Duck Bowl.
We had this a couple of years ago. Was it a Monday night game where Mariota filled in to start a game for the Raiders and played against Herbert? That happened a few years back.
But that didn't have juice because we knew Mariota wasn't good.
And these are guys who were ironically in the same division. And if they have successful careers, one of them will. The other one we're still waiting on. They're gonna face twice a year, every year, and it's just gonna be weird when Bo and Herbert go head to head. Seeing it for the first time this weekend is gonna be really strange.
Who are more Duck fans pulling for in the game? And don't give me this, don't fence it, Duck fan. And be like, I just want both to do well.
I mean, it's easy. It's Herbert. You're pulling for Herbert.
Yeah, I'm pulling my Chargers.
It's not even close.
I got a Herbert Chargers jersey in the back of the closet, and I'm pulling that out and watching.
Why is it in the back of the closet?
Yeah, pull it out of the front of the closet.
All my jerseys are just in like the back corner, so my wife doesn't have to look at them all the time.
Oh, okay.
They're there, there's quite a bit of them, but she doesn't have to know that.
I wrote exactly that on the show sheet. It's Herbert, and it's not even close. So it's funny that a Duck
not
fan
even close.
said that.
I mean, look, we love Bo. Bo was awesome. The last 2 years were incredible. Big fan of Bo. I'm rooting for Bo to have success. Love me some Bo. Bo knows. But one guy's from here. One guy was here for 4 years. One guy helped you bridge a very dark time in the history of the program to somewhat brighter days and capped it off by winning a Rose Bowl.
Somewhat brighter days. I would argue he got you out of the gutter.
He did. He helped you get you out of the gutter.
Quarterback that 4-8 team, and then he ended up winning a Rose Bowl, having 3 tutties.
Title though, I think that's the good days. Not
not
Nice expectations are high as Duck fans.
I mean, we've won a Rose Bowl
before. You
before.
guys were in the gutter when he had to start at quarterback.
Yeah, we've been there, done that.
Yeah, for like a year or two. Come on, stop.
You're such a spoiled man.
It was like a 4-8 Mark Helfrich season, and then right back to it. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it'll always be Herbert. Herbert will always be our guy because I think it's not just necessarily about what he accomplished because Bo won a New Year's Six game as well, and Herbert won one, although the Rose Bowl more significant than beating Liberty, unfortunately, in a Fiesta Bowl, and I will continue to maintain that team last year got screwed and
Bo
should have
got
played.
to New York, though.
He did get to New York, and Herbert never got there. I would argue if Mario Cristobal wasn't his head coach and Marcus Arroyo wasn't his offensive coordinator, he might have had a chance to get there because the second he stepped into the NFL, he looked like a much different player. And you're like, oh, I didn't know that was in there. There's always a thing about the local guys, and I'm not just this way with Ducks. Like every Beaver that's from the state, I love watching those guys have success, and I will always root for them.
But we don't really have quarterbacks.
No, but you got incredible baseball players from the state.
We do.
Like I got no ties at all to Baltimore.
Guardians. How about the
Guardians?
Guardians?
I don't care about those organizations at all, but every time Adley comes up, I want to see him do something cool because he's from Sherwood and he was a #1 overall pick in the draft. That's badass. So, yeah, it will always be Herbert, but for one weekend, we'll slightly root against Bo.
So, awkward question here, and then we'll go to some other NFL action. If it's late, say it's Chargers are up 3, Bo throws a touchdown pass to win the game. Is that a conflict of I'm kind of pissed? I want Herbie to win?
Yes.
So you're kind of like mad at Bo momentarily?
At this point in his career, wins are like I want the Chargers they need to do better in a shorter term. Bo's got a little bit longer of a runway.
Really? Okay.
That would be my take on it. I did see a graphic on this game though, and it made me feel very, very weird. And it was they meet again, and it was a graphic of Herbert and Bo from the Oregon-Auburn game in 2019.
I'll never forget that game.
And it just made me feel very weird. And I remember being down there, I think it was last year, and asking Bo about that because I wanted to be honest with him. I was like, dude, when you came, this is weird. When you came to Oregon, this is weird. Was it weird for you? And for him to acknowledge to me that it was very weird considering he beat Oregon, never thought this would happen, and now he's in this uniform, it was nice to see it be weird for him as well.